Ruthless truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could go bad for you. Hit like, comment, subscribe, you know what to do. Be cool, city lights shining so bright. Fine dining lights feels right. Flights to places far from sight. Get right. Ruthless truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could go bad for you. In the city where we move, stay cool. Underneath the neon glow, life is fast but take it slow. Every moment like a show. Let's go. Dancing through the night, we got energy flows we can't hide. Feel alive, we outside. Moments fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Moments fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Ruthless fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Ruthless truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could bad for you. In the city where we move, stay cool. Stay
Hey,
cool.
nobody bigger than the program.
Yo. What's good, YouTube? Back in action. Now today it's gonna be kind of intense, right? You know, the married man, they're gonna try to pull up. They're gonna try to pull up and talk their shit and just get obliterated, right? But I just think married men are part of the problem because all they do is project their marriage on everybody else. They come with all these crazy advice. You know, you need a vet. You know, you need this. You need that. Well, the truth of the matter is, I believe all of them are happy wife and happy life. That's the only way it's working. There is no other way. And they're lying to us like they're leaders of their households, and they're not. They are just pretty much going along to get along. Going along to get along. That's what they're doing. And I'm not trying to shame them for it, but don't come down on us men out here. What's the OG Dirty? Don't try to come down here on us single men out here trying to, have a good time and trying to find us a wife. Don't come down and tell us we're the problem. Put all the blame on us. We got to let these women take responsibility for their own actions. If you ever lose a federal trial, they come to you and tell you, we're going to offer you 2 points for accepting responsibility. And I'm always hearing them projecting, oh, me and my wife, and this is how I did it, and da-da-da-da, and da-da-da-da. Nigga, your wife ain't every bitch out here. And they need to understand that reality. If their marriage is working, kudos. I'm cool. I'm cool with it. I'm not trying to tell them to divorce. I'm not trying to tell them to leave the one they married. But, if they're going to, keep it real, they're going along to get along. These married men are out here going along to get along in their wedding, in their marriages. Faking like they the leaders, and they're not the leaders. They don't want to tell us the truth. Yeah, I just let things go because, I just don't feel like arguing with her. Because the truth of the matter is, I believe if you're not happy wife and a happy life, then you're getting divorced 100%. Because there's just no way to sustain, right, in this day and age, the type of true leadership that it takes, as a man. You can't do that no more. Those days are over. And which is fine. Anything to keep it working. Got to make sacrifices. But don't come telling us single men what we doing wrong. Don't come telling us men out here who are dealing with women how we need to be, the ones to be the stoics and how we need to be better as men. Who is this, M3? What's up? Good morning, M3. How are married men the problem? Because they're always projecting on the single men. And they're blaming it all on the single men. And they have to, you also got to understand, a married man, if he's on these panels and we're having a conversation about, this potential gender war, he's always going to take the side of the woman. He has to. Because why? He's married to one. So he's compromised. Married men are compromised in this gender war. Because they can't come out and talk bad about women because then you got a wife. So, they are very disingenuous when they come on these panels to think that, well, I'm going to show you how to be married. That was Anton Daniels' biggest value. Oh, I'm successfully married. And he would use that to tell men that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. When the truth of the fact, being married is you got to be very lucky. To find a wife that you compatible with and that y'all can last or stand the test of time, you got to be very lucky because it's a gamble. Yeah, you're gambling on that she's going to keep her end of the bargain and you're going to keep your end of the bargain. It ain't no guarantee. Well, if you do this, you vet like this, and then no. And then they don't tell us everything that goes on in their relationship. We can't see their day-to-day. I know that, M3. I know that, M3. It's always going to be a problem. But married men come on these panels, and they project their marriage as if it's Trump tight. And then they talk down on other men who aren't married about the women of the world who they're not dealing with. And truth be matter, when you're married, you're in prison. You are in prison. You're cut off from the rest of the world. You're not dealing with women in a dating setting. You might meet women and say hi or co-workers. You might socialize it, but you're not talking to these women like you're trying to date them or go out with them. Unless, you're trying to get your side piece. But I'm saying for the most part, most of you married men are working 9 to 5, coming home and dealing with the one woman for like between 5 to 15 years or even more. And that's it. You're not seeing the evolution of women. You're not experiencing it. So, but you guys always want to come out and project. You want to come out and say, well, I've been married 35 years. Me and my wife have been 26 years. But that's your woman, not our woman. And don't try to make it seem like because you figured out how to make your marriage work and then talk down on the men who are trying to get to a place to find them a wife. Those are two different things. A married man cannot tell a single man how to find a correct wife. He can't. Because why? Because he can't teach that woman he finds how to be a good wife. So, I don't have no problem with married men having a conversation with them on the panel. I don't have no problem with that. But just don't start projecting. Don't start talking down on everybody because you've been married 20 years, 15 years, and you know everything. You telling niggas, well, my wife missed 20, and this is how we no, it's not, but we're not married to your wife, and we don't want to marry to your wife either. And And the women out here aren't your wife. So you don't know what these women are doing internally. But this is the problem why us men stay divided. Because the married men come on here and they want to shun everybody. Talk about, oh, this nigga dumb. Oh, he's stupid. Right? But we don't really know what goes on in your marriage. We really don't know. You tell us. Right? You tell us, oh, well, this is this. Am I this wife? Am I this and this and that? But the truth is, we don't know if that's the truth. We can't prove it. You can't bring out no receipts. Most of them ain't gonna bring out no receipts. But I am happy and do champion men who are married and making it work. Don't get it twisted. I'm not here to say, oh, man, y'all should be divorced. No, I'm not saying that. But don't project onto us men, other men who aren't married, with a heavy judgment hand. You know, this is something that's so much of a problem amongst us men, right? We can't seem to get it right. And a large problem is the married man coming on here convoluting conversations. They convolute the conversations. And we're going to get a little information on. We're going to get a little information on, how married women are acting out here. So dudes can stop trying to publicize. So what we got here? We got a guest to the show. Let me give her proper intro. You know what I'm saying? Mella,
her mother doesn't like that kind of dress. Everything she never had, she's showing up.
What's something that give you butterflies?
Money. Money gives me butterflies.
I guess she changed her mind. It's okay. That's okay. But yeah, married men are part of the problem because they can't relate. They cannot relate. Right? They can't relate. They're not caught up with current times. They're so behind and they think they know what's going on day to day. They're not. Anybody tell you when you're in a relationship for a long time and you try to get back out and date, shit change. I guarantee if you put 100% of these married men out here dating, right? You should say, hey, y'all go date now. Your wife no more, go date. I guarantee you that 100% of them will fail immediately in this current dating market. Because their mentality be, well, I'm gonna do the same thing I got my first wife. And then they get dog walk. Big dog bark in. Whoop. Chat gang. So we got M3. What's up? Mella came through. We got big dog barking. Yeah. But married men, to me, they should not involve themselves in a lot of these conversations as far as bringing their marriage with them. If they want to sit down and have a conversation, to ask questions, to, figure out what's going on, just to have the conversation, fine. But they shouldn't bring their marriage to the conversation. Because them bringing their marriage does not help us grow or get to a better place as a people. And we're going to look at how some of these married women be acting. I got this video.
married women specifically, not single women. Not single women. I did have some single women that I worked with. That's fine. But married women, I would have some interactions with them that would leave me scratching my head because, I'm a very moral person, and obviously don't shit where you eat, right? Like always, that was always our mindset. Never shit where you eat. And also never touch another man's wife, right? That's another thing. Consensually, of course. I know some people are going to think like I'm saying something crazy, but I would have these crazy experiences where, obviously I'm a trainer. I'm here to make money. I'm making money.
Let's just pause right there and
because he came home from work one day and he found his wife in bed with another dude and he beat the crap out of both of them. Like he just snapped. He didn't know what happened. Yeah, to Moff's point, it's just not worth it. I mean, there's a lot of consensual stuff going on, bullying, some guys have cuck fetishes. These women, they don't respect men that like that kind of stuff or encourage them to go bang other dudes. Like we have a very close friend that's a bull. Sometimes the guy sits in the chair in the corner.
And I'm working with these women and they start to get really flirtatious, right? And you start to wonder because that they're married because they came with their husbands in that consultation. Their husbands were sitting in that consultation. Their husbands were egging them on to actually be trained by me. And they were all for it. And then once the husband left and they were just me and them in the gym, right? They would start to, say flirtatious things. They say, "Oh, you're so attractive. Like, oh, your muscles. I love how you look. Like, oh my God, like you're so amazing. I wish my husband was like that." And they would start to say things like this in the beginning, right? And I would work with these.
When women hit on men like that,
telling you are attractive. That's just
with these women for about 3 to 6 months, right? Nothing crazy. But as the weeks went on, the flirtation, the flirtations got more and more and more and more and more, right? To the point where it just got to a point where I'm like, "You're married." Like I wouldn't tell them this, but in my head, I'm like, "You're married. Like, how could you be this flirtatious? Like, how could you be egging me on so much?" And it would get to a point, I would say typically around week 8, they would be like, "Hey, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm really attracted to you. Like I don't really do much when I'm at home. My husband's not there. He's always at work. You can come over," or something like that. Or like, "Hey, let's go do."
I've seen this movie before. I've heard this story.
And this is why I say, man, married men are part of the problem because they're delusional. They don't know what their wife be doing 24/7. This is why I'm saying don't project because you really don't know how strong your marriage is. You don't really know. A lot of women who are in marriages after a certain amount of time, they'll fake it to make it. They get with it to get along. Just for the benefits of the children, for the Well, I do believe, and this is my opinion, a woman is only good in a marriage 5 years. If a woman is in the marriage past 5 years, she's going to be bored. Unless the only way it can possibly be okay if it becomes a business. A marriage will have to morph into a business for it to be, I think, profitable and healthy. You can't sustain it with just "I love you, I miss you." I think that wears out after 3 to 5 years. Right? I think totality, if you're married, you get a good 3 years in, that's the whole marriage. After that, it needs to become a business. Right? Okay, this is how we're going to do this. So that way it can be or continue to be healthy. And I think men make this mistake, and this is why women leave. This is why they divorce, because women, they get bored easy. They're easily influenced by things around them. What's up, Hassan? Welcome to the show. What's up, Truth and Purpose? Yeah, we here to expose you today, Truth. We're here to expose the married man's big lie, right? But yeah, I believe, truthfully, the reason why the women are leaving so much is because they're just bored with the men. Really, they're like, damn. This is why I think, a marriage should be a business before an emotion. And this is why a lot of times these married men come on these panels trying to project to us, single men. Oh, well, you need to do this. You need to vet correctly. You just listen, dude. There's 1 million divorces a year. 1 million divorces a year. So that's telling you something. And we know who's leading the charge at the court. We know who's getting that whip, pulling up to that courthouse, and find that paper, who's going through with it. We know who it is. Their wives. So, listen, and I'm not trying to slight, man. Hey, man, if your wife leave you, I'm not trying to make fun of you or none of that shit, because that's very hurtful shit, right? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, don't come on these panels trying to project to us men that, your way and how you got married and what you do with your wife, we need to do with all these 300, these 40, 50 other men and women out here. Because these women out here ain't your wife. And we really, and truthfully, truth be told, I do believe most married men are happy life in it. If your marriage past 5 years, you happy wife in it, happy life in it, nigga. There's no questions about it. Which is okay. Listen, I'm not even slighting you for that. Because understandably, men, we are about duty, keeping the family together, finish what we started. And we quickly figure out that the woman we married is not the woman we was dating. But we still love them and we still want to make this shit work. So we quickly adapt to stop arguing with her, walking away from problems, stop being truthful, right? She says, do I look fat? You learn quickly. No, baby, you look beautiful, right? All those things to make that shit work. But don't project onto us men because we're dealing with hyenas out here. Because these women out here in these streets, nigga, ain't your wife. You have a big task on your hand as a man to deal with your wife. You don't want to really tell us that. You don't want to be honest about it. What's up, Zoom Zoom? These married men, Zoomer, they don't want to tell us the truth that really their wives are headaches. They don't want to tell us that because they want to come on here and shun us. Talk down on us. Yeah. Why you ain't married? Are you married? Why you ain't married? When in actuality, the truth is they're not really happy in their marriages because that can't be the leaders they want to be. Oh, shit, y'all. Guess who we got coming to the show? Let me give him his proper intro.
Oh, baby, please. I'm down on my knees. I need you back in my life, baby.
We have the simp king, married king of the universe, and he's exactly who I'm talking about. This is, I think, between him and maybe Anton, but Anton's calmed down a lot now. He's calmed down. He doesn't do, but Truth is still on this journey to tell us men who are single why marriage is the best thing, why he who finds a wife finds a good thing. And I just think that he's delusional.
Yeah, I'm here, shorty.
Yeah, I know.
I'm here.
Look, I know you gonna sit here, not tell us the truth about your marriage. That you're not gonna tell us the full story, which is fine. It's your business, right? Certain things got to stay personal. But
What you want to know?
I don't want to know. I know.
What you want to know?
No, what I know is you're happy wife and a happy life in it. There's no other way.
How you know?
Your personality, truth number one, is you cater to the woman, right?
You know what's
And,
funny? You want to know? But you want to know what's funny? You saying that
yeah.
no woman on here would say that because I done called so many women bitches on here. So that's that's the thing that I just don't do it unless they disrespect me. But if they disrespect me, they already know I'm not going for disrespect at all on no type of way. See, when you're raised by a father, when you have men in your life, actual men teach other men not to take disrespect of any kind in no form, from man all the way down to a child. It is not applicable in my life. So, once again, all right, now this is one thing that you did tell the truth about for the first time. Majority of the men in this world that are married are happy wifing it. That is 1000%. But you have to understand there are men out here that are not playing no games with that woman they are married to, and they are not afraid to stand on what they believe in inside of a marriage, even if it sacrifices the marriage. Because if the marriage compromises and go against anything that's pertaining to the word of God, I will not fold to the woman because number one, not desperate for the one thing that they hang over your head that y'all need so much, which is between their legs. I done had enough to last me a lifetime, so they can't use that against me. That's the only thing that they will have over a man. They know I don't want that or need that. They know I want something much more than what's between their legs. And that's intelligence and help to build a legacy and a foundation for my children. So that when I leave this earth, that my children will have everything that they need while their protection is gone and their security is gone, which is me. That's what I'm looking for.
So here's the question I have for you then.
Yeah.
Do you think marriage is the only way to raise a healthy family?
Yes.
Do you
Would you
think,
like to know why?
okay, you can add context.
Okay. So if you look at since the beginning of time all the way down, in every prominent figure, we're talking about prominent figure known to man in the history of human beings, they have been what's called in a marriage, a combining of families, strengths and weaknesses, financials, liberties, and also bloodlines to formulate a great great product. They want to usually build and have a boy for their first child because they want to raise, great kings and great conquerors of the world. That's how it's supposed to have been done. So that is the most important reason why marriage is essential. Now, the way the westernized world has it, we see what they do to marriage. They allow certain things to go on. Yes, they do give women a certain amount of power, but I will never say the Constitution, what marriage is not the problem. We are the problem because we are selfish and we're not in it for the marriage. We're in it for ourselves, what we can get out of it and not what we can give.
Well, so another question for you. Do you think that a woman is worth marrying for the sake of you being the man you are today?
Elaborate on that so I can make sure I know where you're coming from.
Actually, how does this woman add value to you as a man for you to marry her? Because obviously, for you to marry her, she has to add some type of value or be valuable, right? Um,
Yes.
how does she add value to you as a man that you were before you married her?
So the value that she brings is what she is, being a woman, wife, and mother. What that does is I know that my children are safe and they will be provided with emotional stability, uh, love, and nurturing, things that they need, healthy food, those type of things. You know, when they are trying to understand why certain people move the way they do, they will have her to come to and explain to them how the world is and the directions that I give when I'm out working or I'm not home. I know those things are consistent and repetitive. So it's a person there when I'm not there for my
Okay.
children.
And do you think that this type of woman is easy to find?
No, that's that's one thing that I've constantly made known ad nauseum. You know, regardless of, because no one's perfect. I'm not perfect. She's not perfect. But saying that is a relevant statement because no one in this world, you know, since time immemorial or when the world end, nobody will ever be perfect. Having said that, for 41 years since I've been on this planet, all the flaws that she does have, she still outweighs all the women that I have met in my entire life, and that is a considerable amount of women. Is it easy to find her? No, not at all. What happens is I would not have found her. This is the key thing. I would not have found her or noticed her at all if I wasn't the man I am today. Because, like you stated, and this is one thing that you didn't mean it this way, but I agree with you. If I was where I was 13 years ago, my attraction was to a certain type of provocative, nasty, ratchet, trifling hood type of woman, because that's what I came from. So that's what I know. That's what I'm used to. Them speaking a certain type of way, them living a certain type of way, them carrying themselves a certain type of way, them being like the scissor type. Everybody loved that song, "Snooze" by SZA. That's the type of woman I was going after. The problem is that's not from what I come from. I come from marriage. I seen marriage growing up my whole entire life. That's all I was around. So that was my original makeup instead of what I was starting to grow and what I was around to in my environment. So it confused me. Now I got back to what I was supposed to be, my original design. I seeked after what I was birthed. That's what
Okay.
happened.
So now this is what I truly believe, right?
Mhm.
And this is why I think that, listen, I have no problem with the way a man and who a man marries, right? That's his prerogative. That's solely on what he believes is best for him and his future. But we do understand, you kind of made my point when you said it's very difficult to find these type of women, right? And these type of women are very, very, I would say, rare as far as the average man, right? So we can agree that
No, I am the average man, so I disagree with you.
that's why I said rare, right? I said it's as rare to find this woman as an average man.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Okay.
meaning it's even more difficult to find a woman when you're average that's going to take you with your average earning job, let's say 50K plus, right? 50,
Mhm.
52K. You know, you got 800 credit score, right? You take care of your business. You got a nice little crib. You got everything that is suitable to be efficient.
Right. I
And
see what you're saying.
right. And a lot of women out here are finding that to be problematic, right? And I'm not saying your woman, I'm saying a lot of women out here are finding and looking at these type of guys and look at them as problematic to the genius of success, right? To the genes of stability. They think that if you're into a lifestyle like that or living like that, that you are content and don't have any type of ambition and you're no longer attractive to them. So what I'm saying is, this is why I think married men, when they come on these panels, right, they do a lot of projecting.
Mm-hmm.
They, oh, you know, you got to court, do this, do that, do this, you know, do all these things. Like, but they don't understand is these women out here ain't your wife, right? These
Mm-hmm.
women out here are a whole different animal. Now, women do unify on a few universal effects, which is emotions, feelings, hypergamy, all those things, right? They do have that universal, I guess I would say, physical or natural effect. Now, what women you get with who loves you enough or cares about you enough to, so I would say, try to not live in that nature, you're a lucky man. Can you agree?
Yes. Yeah, no, I don't have no disagreement on that at all. I want to put this in context. When you because you're married does not necessarily mean that who you are. I can't change my nature. I am not a nice person. People know that. I am kind though, which means I am very fair, but I am very intolerable to disrespect, even to things that people think aren't disrespectful. Um, I am very intolerable to ignorance. I don't like it. Um, so that's why it has made it very complicated for me to be in a relationship for so long. Some of the women that I had, previously, some people might work with them, because they might not be so serious on how I look at the world or how I was raised that they wouldn't take that so serious, or they probably wouldn't be quote unquote controlling as they would probably say. But the way I look at it is if you're not in control, you're out of control. It's that simple for me. If you're not in order, you're out of order. It's that simple for me. There is no gray area. So a lot of people, because of how they're raised that it is gray area for that, and then they want to live in that gray area. I can't take that, which then makes the relationship uninhabitable. It makes a relationship dying, and then eventually, we will split apart because the type of person I am, I'm not an easy person to live with. I am very loyal. I don't cheat. I will not put my hands on you, but that because I am that way, I know I am the very limited few of men that does that. Especially a man that is, like you say, if they of high means and money. Majority of men will say, "Hey, if I do this, I want to sleep with other women. I'm going to take care of you, but I still want to do what I want to do." A lot of women don't want that type of man, but they don't want to deal with the type of man that I am.
But and this is where once again, right?
Mhm.
Why, and this is why you're kind of flawed because women cheat too, right? So when she's
Who
talking
told you
about,
that?
you know who told me that. So when men say, well, she doesn't want a man that cheat, they don't never look at that. The man don't want a woman that cheat either, right? We both don't. we both are trying to avoid the same thing, right?
No, you can't. No, that's where you're flawed at because you've made it. You just contradict yourself. You made it clear that you're gonna sleep with other women.
No, that's not. No, that's not. What I'm saying is, so I'm not speaking of me because I'm not getting married. I'm just saying.
No.
When I date women,
We're talking about men. We're talking about before they even get married.
Yeah, but
we're not getting into marriage and then all of a sudden saying, "Oh, I want to sleep." This is men saying, "Hey, before we get married, I'm letting you know straight up. I am because of the type of man I am and the options that I have. I'm going to sleep around. If you want to still marry me, we can still get married and I'll take care of you. But I'm going to do what I want to do as a man because I believe I'm afforded that right based on who I am and based on the money that I have."
Well, that's a whole other conversation. What I am saying is married men. We're talking specifically today, we're talking about married men, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the men who are not married. So what I'm saying is these married men come on these panels and project their marriage onto other men as if that is just it's so easy or so I wouldn't say easy, but so here's this process, do like I do or do like this. And what they don't understand is
that's what my fault. Go ahead, continue. I want to answer that.
This is not right. This is not one size fits all, right? There is no one size fits all when it comes to looking for a woman that you're trying to vet out or court, whatever, right? It's different strokes for different folks. So your person is your person. Okay, I'll give you that. But your person ain't every other person's. So we have to be more realistic when we have these conversations and you're married, you have to look at it like these women out here, right, have to hold themselves accountable and to a higher standard as well, right? It ain't just about the man.
But Rufus, let me interject real quick. Because I'm actually in agreement with you because you keep saying it. My person ain't these other. That's the point. I can go choose the type of woman you choose, but I know that's not going to end the marriage. I know that's not going to end the relationship. And I know even that little situationship where I'm knocking the floor out of her, that has a shelf life. Eventually it's going to end and then I'm on to the next. Me, I don't want that because I ain't got time for that. Time is money and money is supposed to be used as a tool. I am looking to build something, not get tail. I done had enough. I've been screwing since I was 12 years old. I'm 41 years old. I done had enough of that. I done had enough of that in different races and anything. I don't need it. I don't need it, and I have never not been able to get it from whatever woman I wanted it from. So that is not my mindset.
And how long you been married right now? A year?
Yep.
Okay. So you're fresh. You're fresh in there, right? Fresh starting. And this is your second marriage, correct?
Yeah, that's where I was about to go at.
So we understand, right, that we don't even know if your vetting has been executed correctly until years and years down the line, right?
Disagree.
Yeah, you can't tell, right?
You want to know why?
Let me finish this. Because once again, this is why I really are very frustrated with married men when they come on these panels. They always talk from, even though their shit is still fresh or they're still engaging, meaning it doesn't mean the outcome is going to be what they think it's going to be. They hope that the outcome comes to the way it ends, which is, what they're projecting. But honestly, they still are in a journey. And they're acting like as if people can't change over time. Right? They're acting as if like you can marry somebody in year 1, she could be a different person in year 5. So when we understand that it is not necessarily now. Do we want to talk about the infidelity part of this?
No, not yet. Not yet.
I'm not going into that. What I'm saying.
Not yet, because I want to stay on what you're talking about right now.
No, but I'm representing the conversation, right? We want to talk about the infidelity part of this. Well, that's what we do have to address as, I would say, people when it comes to, are we really going into these marriages unrealistically?
All right, so now right there. So I'm gonna deal with the first thing, and then I'm gonna deal with the last thing. The first thing you stated was that this is new, and that we don't know what the end is going to be. That is correct. But see, a man doesn't worry about doing something till it ends. We do something to win, and then if it fails, it fails, and then I gotta go back to the drawing board and look at what did I do wrong. The problem with you, the problem that you're stating though, that you're not seeing, how I went about going and applying for seeking the person to marry is the same, literally, as the people that you go around like Sophisticated Jerk, 20 years, Anton Daniels, 20 years, and still going. Who else? Everybody that I know, Bolo, over 30 years. Everybody I know has approached it. How everybody that's successful has approached it how I have. The problem is not in the approach, not in the application, because as long as I maintain and do what I'm supposed to do, if the individual that I have chose, I have to then go back, because that's what my first marriage failed, and the last two, the last engagement. The reason why that failed is because of my standards of picking someone. My standards of picking someone was very laxed. In other words, I said the thing that you stated. Nobody's perfect. And I use that as a governing tool to choose a person to do a lifelong event with. And that's not what you're supposed to do. They supposed to meet whatever criteria you have that you cross off on your list. Like, this is the type of woman that I know that will work with me. And you have to know who you are as a man first. So I know what will work with me. And if they don't check off those boxes, then I shouldn't choose that. When it fails, if it fails, I will go back. Even if this one failed, though. Now, you didn't hear this part. Even if this one fails, which I don't think so, but if it does, Tequila still is the greatest woman that I have ever met in my 41 years. In her reputation all around, this is the thing. I chose a woman whose reputation with men and women is daggone near perfect. The only reason why we would not work is because of the suitability. Does she absolutely fit who I am as a man?
Okay.
And time will tell that. So far, yes. Time will tell.
I'm not saying, look, but what I'm saying is, I don't really, I understand great. I'm happy for you. But what I'm trying to address here is projection, right? The projection onto the rest of the single men out here that's looking for his person. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying, but the way you did your thing and how you fell into a woman, that's a whole other game, whole other conversation.
No, that's the point. You didn't listen to me, Ruthless. You're saying the same thing over again.
No, what I'm saying is,
you just said that.
No, the project. Okay, but what I'm talking about is projecting. I'm not.
You said that. You like when you just got finished. If you rewind it back, you just got finished. You guys keep coming on here projecting. You keep trying to tell men to get the woman that you got, but that's not the women out here, that they have to choose the woman that they fit with, and that every woman is not your woman. And the way you do it is not the way everybody else is
And
going to do it.
right. And
You just said that. You're about to say it again.
instead of having a genuine conversation and actually doing a realistically view on, well, maybe women are the problem, right? They constantly want to blame the men. So this is where I have the problem, and a lot of us other men have a problem with, is married men come on and putting all the burden and the responsibility on the men. When women today have full autonomy, meaning they are their own individual, and they can do live their life as they feel suitable. So if they don't feel like they need to cater to a man or need to be a wife to a man, they don't have to be, right? Because now they can grab their own resources, they can build their own life without a man. And this independent mindset these women are pushing, this ideology is dominating.
Okay.
And it's dominating the dating market.
Okay.
Because now that a man who's coming here, who got his shit together, who's been genuinely trying to find someone to be compatible with, is becoming a nuisance. And the married man will come in and dump on him. Well, you need to be better. You need to be emotionally intelligent. You need to this and all these things. But here's I'm gonna land it. But here's where I have a problem with those advice that type of advice, because they're not giving advice as the women that out here are, how you say it, the women out here are they put themselves on a more higher pedestal, so therefore they retain more responsibility. It's part of the failure of the dating market or of the marriage numbers, right? They are the biggest problem. So no matter how good that man is or how ready he is or how genuine he is, the women are opting out and saying, he's not a good man. That's not the good man I was talking about. And that's what you guys have to understand as married men. These women out here, what they think is a good man has nothing to do with the man himself.
All right. So once again, don't disagree with that. The problem, but the part that you're missing, and for some reason, the things you give aren't wrong. They just are incomplete. The women out here, majority of the women aren't marriageable. Majority. And I'm going to say as far as 98% of the women aren't marriageable. 98. The problem is though, the 98 is what you guys go for, what you guys want, what you guys seek out. Even you, this is why this is a contradiction. What you even admitted this. You said, yo, I don't want that type of woman. I am a man that acquires bad bitches. And I said, okay, thank you for your honesty. So since you acquire a bad bitch, you don't acquire a good wife. You don't deserve and will never have a good wife. So yes, marriage for you should be off the table. You know what the problem is though? Majority of the men in the world, this is the flip side, aren't marriageable men either. They are like you. They want the bad bitches like Cardi B. You see what's going on in this world? You niggas aren't husbands, and then you want the bad bitch like the Cardi B's in the world to be wives, and they're not wives. They're telling you they're not wives, but you just want to. You think, oh, if I marry that means I lock down that pussy, and no other man gonna climb up there and rock that shit out better than you, sir. If that's her makeup, she's gonna let another nigga hit. It ain't nothing you can do to stop that. Ain't nothing you can do to stop that. Nor do you deserve a faithful woman. You said a bad bitch. So you get a bad bitch. A bad bitch, she is promiscuous. She go get her money. She's equal to a man. You can't tell her shit. You buck up to her, she going to knock the shit out of you. And then if you try to bully her, she's going to get some niggas to fuck your shit up or even put you in the ground. That's the type of woman you went for. You can't have it one way, like Marlo said. You want it one way. You want it, hey, I want to go get the bad bitch and I want her to marry her. I want her to be a domesticated woman. I want her to go against her nature. I want her to go against the nails, the wigs, the makeup, her attitude, how nasty she is, and all this type of stuff. There are men out here in this world better than you, bro. So when that come along, her hypergamous nature to want a better life, that's why she's out here doing the things that she's doing. You're not the end all be all, so she should go to the next level. That's how she got to you. She left the other nigga to get to you. And now you're not working out, so she goes to get the next woman. Next man, you shouldn't be mad about that. That's the game. When I was doing the game, I wasn't mad at that type of stuff. The problem with me is majority of the women I left, they didn't run game on me. They didn't do that type of stuff. And that's because it's not about money. It's a mentality that a daggone wolf wants another wolf. And if you ain't a daggone wolf, but you're a daggone bunny rabbit out here, you're going to get ate up. Especially trying to play this game like, yo, I'm this, I got money, I'm out here running through these bitches, I'm sleeping with them, I'm fucking them, and all that type of shit. But then you mad how they act. No, don't get mad. I never complained about the game. She slept with the nigga. Okay, that it's not mine. That's not my wife. She can go fuck off another nigga. She can go suck off another nigga. She can go get money for another. Hey, we cool. If we on that type of level, bring a little bit of that change back. Let me go ahead and fuck them. Because I'm in the game. I'm in the world. I'm not on the other side of the coin like how I am living now. I want a wife. So I am a husband. I'm not a nigga out here talking about I'm fucking a whole lot of bitches. I'm running the game. I'm doing this. I'm thugging. I'm this type of nigga. I'm a gangster. I'm all this. I'm a criminal. And then saying, oh, I want a woman that goes to church, that don't curse, that don't yell, that don't scream, that don't raise her voice. When I am that way, I'm going to attract and go after what I am because I don't want a timid woman. I don't want a little puppy dog. I want a daggone bulldog like me. And you even said it.
But don't most people want to marry someone opposite of them?
No, they don't. That's what I'm saying. You ain't let me finish, Rufus. I'm gonna land right here. Opposites attract. That's a law in physics. The problem is you're not going after the opposite. You're a heathen, you're going after heathen. Majority of men are heathens going after heathen women. So but they want that woman, let me land it. They want the woman that they like and looks good and got the big ass and is a bad bitch. They want that to be a wife. That's not a wife. That's why you fail. You're not going after the one that ain't that way. So until men go after that type of woman,
you're adding context on context on context.
The 2.5%, until you go after that, and you say, yo, I really went after a woman on curse. She was in church. She at home most of the time. She with her mother. She's working. And then she comes straight home. She's not out here in the world. Until you go after that, don't say shit to me about no woman because you're just as bad as she is. I don't want to hear it. If you moving like Bolo, if you moving like sophisticated jerk, if you moving like the decent men in this world, then you come to me and say, yo, I really went out here, yo, and it's not that many women in the world that you should be marrying because I'm out here getting hurt. I'm out here getting messed up, man. They doing me wrong, and I'm a good dude. That is not you, and that is not the most of these niggas.
Okay, so I don't want to mute you, but damn, you keep bringing content on top of content on top. When the point is that two people, for it to have a chance to make it, have to be kind of opposite of each other. Because a man who is, let's say, assertive, or a leader, very aggressive, he doesn't want somebody aggressive with him or the same. He wants a woman who's feminine, who's a follower, right? More, he don't want an equal leader that's a lead like him. So then that's going to be conflict of interest. But moving on, right? What you have to understand is nobody knows if they're going to be a husband or a good wife before they're a husband or a good wife, right? Because in our own mindset, when we like to get married, is it motivational to find one woman and have kids with? Maybe not. I mean, sometimes the single life is enjoyable, right? But then when you do find someone, which is where we go with post-nut clarity, right? That you take a liking to, that you start, amending your life for, then you may want to explore the endless, approach in how I'm going to deal with her. But it's just not that simple to wake up and say, I'm a husband and I'm walking out here looking for a wife, right? That doesn't make you suitable, nor will the person you pick make them suitable. All you can do is, right? Because the reason why it's hard to do that, because most people give up their best representative. We know that, right? Most people don't tell you, most people aren't transparent about the baggage which lie underneath the skin, which they try to keep from you because, they want to try to make a good impression on you. But at the end of the day, when we're dealing with our person or the person that we think is our person, we're taking a gamble. We're rolling the dice. We're rolling the freaking dice. So, listen, I do understand that us men, we can be delusional, right? We can have this conflated ego that, yeah, I'm him, right? Until you're not.
Until that bitch fuck you up.
Until she comes with that divorce papers, or she gets to complain.
No, ain't no divorce papers until she busts your ass. That's even being single too.
Well, but I'm saying, right?
Because you thought you was the man in the marriage and she was the man running you.
So we've seen, and this is the thing where, again, we see this shit on all levels, right? This ain't just happening to poor men or average men, right? These are happening to men with great wealth, they got everything, right? They're not even committing infidelity, right?
Who told you that?
No, I'm just saying there are men out here that are not. The problem, a lot of these, every problem in every marriage or relationship ain't about infidelity, right? It's just not about that.
Who told you that?
I'm just telling you, we're just speaking in general, right? It's like, what I mean? We're speaking in general, right? So we know that we have information on a lot of these, I would say, divided homes, on these problematic places, because this is the age of information. We got social media, we got Instagram, we got TikTok, and all these and women are coming out and confessing the way they truly feel about men and why they're divorcing men. Men are coming out and truly saying why it's not working with the women. So who told me? Information told me, right? The information that I've gathered, my research through social media and anecdotal, right? I know people who are going through, white boys, brothers, Asians that are going through problematic, relationships and marriages. So we do not need to project our situation on everyone. You should be counting your blessings if you have a healthy marriage. You should be very thankful to God Almighty for orchestrating your house to be the way it is. It ain't just her, it ain't just you. God is also making it work, right? God is the one who is the umbrella of that household. So you keep thinking that it's just about the man. No, it's about God and what He puts up the walls to make that relationship work or that marriage work, to make her, be able to deal with the journey, to help you, work through the problems with her. All of this is orchestrated by God. So we do come to the conclusion that you need God, truthfully, for the blessings of God for a great marriage to last. Not just a marriage, but a healthy marriage. You need the hand of the Almighty to really orchestrate that for your house. Because the devil, right, he comes in and he seeks to kill, to destroy. And who does he attack first? The woman. Just like in the garden, right? When Eve, she looked at that, she talked to the serpent, right? Instead of going and asking, hey, Adam, so this guy's over here talking to me. She kept, she thought she handled it, independent mindset. Oh, I can handle this conversation. And then she tricked herself. Then she got deceived. So you need God to really bless your house for it to move forward in a healthy fashion.
Let me know when you finish.
And that's just the fact of the matter.
You finish?
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. Once again, you're just proving my point, because I'm a son of Adonai. So you're proving my point. I always say a woman should not marry you if you're not submitted to God. Submitted to God means He rules your life. He rules your marriage. He rules your family. If you do not have, I'm not one of these people that say, oh, if you don't have God, your marriage is going to work. I'm the opposite. I tell everybody, you don't have God, your marriage is going to fail eventually. Eventually. That's my belief. I don't think you can win at anything or be great at anything without God. So you're really preaching to the literal choir over here. And that is my point.
But I don't
Heathens don't have God in their lives. Heathens go after bad bitches, Jezebel, succubus, sirens, not Ruth, not who else? Not the women of the Bible.
Not Bathsheba?
Not the decent women. No, not Bathsheba. No. No.
So you saying that men of God don't go after? You said that are you saying men of God don't go after women who are off limits?
No.
Well, they do.
No.
They do.
Once again, this is why, ladies and gentlemen, you actually have to read your emphatic entire Bible. See, the person he's talking about is David. David, lusted, sinned after Bathsheba, which was a wife of his best friend and general in his army, Uriah. Excuse me. He sent him off to war to die so he can take his wife. Do you know what kind of kindled anger that did to the Lord? He said, you want to play with me like that? Okay, guess what? That son that you bore, I'm going to kill it. So y'all got to stop. Y'all playing with the wrong one. You can't play with the Lord. You can't try to wiggle when his eye is everywhere. And David begged for the Lord, please don't kill my baby. Man, is you crazy? You supposed to be my right hand, a man after my God heart. If I allow you to get away with this, other man going to be like, you allow him to get away with, why can't I do it? Oh no, you're going to take this punishment, and that baby is going to be gone because you did it wrong. Now your next son I will bless, because guess what? That wasn't in the midst of that man being dead. She is now that the man is dead, she is now legally able to be married. And now that son that you bear now, Solomon, I will bless him. I will make him a king. I will let him build my temple. You will not build my temple. You will not do that to serve me. Your son will do it. Just like I took it from Moses when he smoked the rock. You will not see what the rest will see. You won't make it. I love you, Moses, but I'm a sovereign God. I'm sovereign. I don't play games. And y'all not going to play games with me. You smoke the rock, I got you. David, you sent that man to die, I got you. Anybody that does things against the Lord, do not be mocked. God is not mocked. Do not be deceived. So whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he reap. It's going to come. It's not going. You don't know when it's going to come. It could come tomorrow or 50 years later, but it's going to come to tear your butt up. So you'll learn not to play with the Lord ever. But to get back to what I was saying is, men out here are talking bad about women when they are bad men. Men out here are talking about marriage and women need to be wives when they are not husbands. Your father wasn't a husband. Where did you learn how to be a husband at? You wasn't born a husband. You was born out of wedlock. You was born in adultery. That's what you was born in. You was born in hell, in sin. And you talking about being a husband. What you know about being a husband? Where you see it? You don't see it. You don't know it. You have an idea of something that you think you would like because you want to clink down that daggone woman so she can't go out here and screw off. You think that's going to lock her down. No, if she want to screw off, she going to go ahead and screw off. You can't stop her. And see, what happened is the game is now inverted in men that aren't men that women actually like and love. They don't now need men no more for certain things. So now the game is leveled out. They're going after the men that they want, that they like. And that is making it hard on the unlikables and the undesirable. If you're not a likable or desirable man, you need to look to your daddy and ask him why he creates you to be so unlikable, undesirable that you need, I need a certain amount of money or she ain't going to like me. If she don't like you with a certain amount of money, yeah, she'll give up some tail to get some coins out of you. And then she's going to say, oh, man, look at that nice man over there.
Okay, so before you go, no, you're going silly quick because what I'm saying is the part when you say a man needs to be submitted to God, I'm going to have to disagree, right?
You just contradicted yourself.
No, I'm not. Let me finish what I'm saying. I'm going to go into
I can't let you finish because you literally just said God need to be over your marriage. Yes. If your man is not submitted to God, he can't be over your marriage.
No. What I'm saying is God is, what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying, I said that the statement is for your marriage to last or to work a healthy marriage, you need God to oversee that and make that happen. Okay. But I didn't say anything about submitting, right? What I'm saying is submitted to God.
How the hell will God oversee something that you're not submitted to?
God, dang, this thing you can't. I'll let you just go on for like good 2 minutes.
You're saying something that is not biblical,
for this to be a productive
even logically correct.
For this to be a productive conversation, you have to let me land, just like I let you land, right? What I'm saying is everybody submit to God, right? Because God is the final authority over everything on earth, right? Right? He can, because if he right, Satan, everything, all this is God's power.
Right,
everything that happens is under God's authority. Nothing's happening. Nobody's nobody is superseding God in no form or no fashion, right? The women are doing what they're supposed to do, right? The women are supposed to be rebellious to the wedded vows and to men. Because why? They're rebellious to God, right? Just like men are rebellious to God and they're rebellious to women. So this is why I'm saying married men need to stop projecting. This is why you think, oh, good husband, good wife. All of us are in rebellion to the law of God, which stands. So therefore, everybody is under God's authority. There is nobody that if your marriage don't last because God don't want it to last. Simple. Let's keep it. Let's call a spade a spade. If God don't want your marriage to last, it's not gonna last, right? Then we talking about, well, only heathens are going. Listen. Okay, all this is we have to agree that every marriage that happens does not have anything to do with whether you're going into heaven or not, right? That has nothing to do with that. If you marry an unbelieving woman or don't get married, you're still going into heaven, right? That has absolutely nothing. What marriage is in this world is, I think, something that a lot of men desire to want to build, right? They want to have one woman that they can trust, which is, I think, very problematic, because I don't believe women are trustworthy. And I don't believe, that this should be your foundation of you building with a woman, because we see that the women are divorcing. We see social media got your bitch, right? Social media got your these men and women out here, and these men and women are, putting themselves first, loving themselves, and doing what they feel is best for them, not necessarily best for the family. So when you say a man got to be submitted to God, everybody submit to God. Everybody. There's nobody that's not submitted to God. Period. There's nobody not doing what God don't want them to do. Everybody's doing what God wants them to do. Period. Period. So I just don't want to leave that rhetoric on my channel. You talk about if you submit. Samson was submitted to God, right? And all he did was fuck hoes and kill people. That's it. He did what God will wanted. He did what God wanted him to do. What's up, Zoomer? Yeah, marriage is a very difficult task. I would advise no man to do it. You know what I mean? But if you think that what makes you happy, if you see that much in a woman to want to marry her, boy, you're taking a dangerous job. You're taking on a very dangerous job. So I don't know. I'm against marriage to a woman. I would advise any man not to do it. And don't listen to married men. When these married men come on these panels talking about, all these different ideologies, talking about you need to be a better man, that you need to be a husband material, that is a lie. That's a fucking lie. Because no matter what a man is or what he is, right, that woman is going to do what her feelings and her emotions lead her. And if she thinks she can do better, right, she's going to do better. She's going to leave you. It ain't always the man's fault when women leave. It's not always our fault. I'm not going to say it ain't. We don't share some blame. We do. We mess up here and there. I'll give it that. But that's to be expected. No, I know ain't no women and men out here thinking that they're going to marry a perfect person. I know that they married women and married men don't think that their partner or whoever they marry ain't going to have no flaws. Because that's an illusion. And that means you're delusional. But what I will say is to the men, it don't matter, what you do. If your marriage is going to work, it's going to work. These women out here are loyal to their desires. And whatever they desire at that time, in that moment, that's what lead them into a place where they think they need to be. So don't sit here and knock yourselves over the head. What am I doing wrong? Why is I'm not getting the woman I want, or this or that, or this or that? These women are problematic. These women are corrupted. Money has corrupted them when it comes to dealing with men. They have their own ideologies. They think that when they get with a man, that man needs to be, taking away their responsibilities, like paying bills and doing all those things. If the only way they get with a man, if he's not doing those things, they're not going to get with him. So men shouldn't be hitting themselves over the head because these women, actually, you should be celebrating. Listen, getting in a relationship with one of these women is a big, tall order. Nothing but problems. I'm sorry to say it. Women, to me, are, if you marry to one of them or you commit to one of them, you're committing to a bunch of problems. Because women, their emotions are up and down, and they are very against following the rules of relationships. They do what they feel is right for them. Now, hey, that's perfectly okay, but we as men got to understand it ain't our fault that she's built that way. We didn't create women. And I know as men, we're not perfect either. Yeah, we need to do some work. We got flaws. I ain't gonna lie, we got flaws. But don't take the blame for the women. She has to stand on her 10 toes down on her thing she do with her life. We ain't making women go out here and do all the things they do. They doing it because they desire to do it. These women out here who are 304s desire to be 304s. These women out here who want to get married desire to be married. These women out here with the degrees and want to make all this money, they desire to be boss bitches. It ain't our fault. It's what they desire, is what they want, is what their heart desires. So understand this, men, that when you're searching for one of these women, you need to be clear and concise and understand that what you might be signing up for can come with a lot of headache. It can be very frustrating. Because one thing about these women, they're not listening to anybody. They're following what they feel is right. And I guarantee you're going to get 90 days. You're going to get 90 days of greatness. After that, man. So understand, right, as men, it's not our fault. And don't let these married men come on these panels and in your life and telling you it's your fault. It is not our fault that these women want to go out here and be 304s, or these women want to go out here and tear up the house. They want to divorce their men. It's not our fault. It ain't my fault. Did I do that? It ain't my fault. Did I do that? So don't kick yourself in the head and say, what did I do wrong? How can I be better? No, how can she be better? And why the fuck she can't accept accountability for her actions? So I'm going to end this live. Thank y'all for coming. Zoom. Hit the like button, subscribe.
Hold up. Hold up. Whoa.
Ruthless is out.
I was just waiting for you to finish.
Thank you to your purpose for coming.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike, I have to go. But I'll do that live tonight. You can pull up. You know what I mean? I do one probably around 6:30.
Let me get a closing statement. 30
and
seconds.
I do it. I'll let you get a closing statement. I'll do a similar topic to this, right? So that you can, so that you come in. But I'm on a schedule right now. Go ahead and say what you got to say.
All right. Salute to Ruthless for being brave enough to stick with, to stick up the challenge with Superman. But you already know the hero always wins. He is right about one thing. Marriage men come on here projecting about their marriage and how great it is and how great the women they are with, he is absolutely correct. Like I told you, he wanted one way. He's also projecting. He's projecting his jadedness. He's projecting women that use him, and he's projected that he's not a king of the game, and he's lonely, and no women actually likes him for himself. That's what majority of these single men are. If you want to win the game, you holler at a man like me, because I won the game and I'm a marriageable husband. You want to be both sides of the quarter. You don't want to be one side of the penny, you dig? You guys take it easy.
We out.